Have you ever had your life turned upside down by something small, something you never saw coming? Well, that's exactly what happened to Stephen, a man who thought his life was as ordinary as could be until one tiny change led him to one of the most powerful lessons he would ever learn. Stephen had always lived a pretty simple life. He worked a regular office job, and every day, without fail, he drove his car to work. It was the same routine, day in and day out. But one fateful day, his life was thrown into chaos. His car was in an accident and was sent off for repairs. Suddenly, Stephen had no choice but to take the train to work. What seemed like an annoying inconvenience at first turned out to be a change that would impact his life in ways he couldn't imagine. One evening, as Stephen waited for the train, he saw something that caught his attention. In a quiet corner of the station sat a homeless man. His clothes were tattered, his face worn by the struggles of life. Something about the man's quiet presence tugged at Stephen's heart. Without thinking much about it, Stephen reached into his pocket and pulled out a few coins. He walked over to the man, handed him the change, and offered a simple, "Here you go." The homeless man looked up at him with tired eyes, and a small smile appeared on his face. "Thank you," he said, his voice soft but full of gratitude. Stephen walked away feeling good about the small act of kindness he had shown. But little did he know, this brief moment would set the stage for something far deeper. The next day, as Stephen made his way to the station again, he saw the homeless man sitting in the same spot. But this time, something inside Stephen stirred. It wasn't enough to just give him a little change. He felt compelled to do more. So Stephen walked to a nearby cafe, bought a warm meal, and returned to the station. He sat down next to the man and offered him the food. The homeless man smiled and accepted the meal, grateful for the kindness. As they sat there together, Stephen felt a curiosity building inside him. "So, how did you end up here?" he asked. The homeless man looked at Stephen, and after a long pause, he answered with a gentle smile. "You know, I ended up here because all my life I've always shown love to others." Stephen was surprised. "What do you mean?" he asked. The man took a deep breath and explained, "I've spent my whole life giving to others. Even when I had little, I gave. I helped when I could barely help myself. I put others' happiness first. Always." Stephen thought about this for a moment. "But don't you regret it?" he asked, genuinely concerned. The homeless man looked at him with soft eyes and shook his head. "I don't regret helping people. But there is one thing I wish I had done differently. You see, it's better to build your own house first, then invite others in. It's not wise to give away your bricks while you're still trying to build your house. If you don't take care of yourself, one day you'll turn around and find that you have nothing left to give." This encounter taught Stephen a powerful lesson that we all need to remember. It's important to be kind and generous, but it's just as important to set boundaries and take care of ourselves. The most sustainable kind of kindness is the kind that doesn't leave you empty. It's the kind that grows from a place of balance, where you can give without losing yourself in the process. So, the next time you feel compelled to help someone or show kindness, remember this: build your house first and then open the door to others. Only then will you have the strength to truly make a difference without burning yourself out in the process.